Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something pretty specific, a curriculum for a 6-month short diploma in Arabic language and Qur'anic studies. So our mission here is to kind of break down how this program works. How do they teach such a complex language plus religious studies in just half a year? It sounds, well, ambitious, especially for beginners.
It really is fascinating. What jumps out is how structured it is for rapid skill acquisition. It's not your typical language course.
Right.
It seems laser focused on beginners who want Arabic specifically for Quranic study, maybe academic work. They're aiming for functional fluency, fast.
And let's just quickly cover the logistics. It's definitely 6 months. The source mentioned the cost to around 6,700 INR.
Yeah, which translates to roughly, $75 US?
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
$75 plus options for installments, discounts. It's very accessible, which combined with the speed makes you really scrutinize the how.
Exactly. How do they pull it off?
Okay, let's dive into that. Section 1, the foundations. Months 1 and 2. Month 1 has to be critical, right? Laying that groundwork in just 30 days. Absolutely crucial. They don't waste any time. It starts with the basics you'd expect. Alphabet, sounds, writing. But the key thing, I think, is that they integrate grammar immediately, right from the start. 2 core concepts, Nahw and Sarf.
Okay, hold on. For listeners maybe not familiar with linguistic terms, Nahw and Sarf, can you give us the quick version?
Sure. Think of Nahw as syntax. It's the architecture of the sentence, how words fit together properly, the rules, basically.
Got it. Sentence structure.
Right. And Sarf is morphology. It's about the words themselves, how they're built, how they change form from a basic root, like the building blocks.
So Nahw is the blueprint, Sarf is the bricks.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. If you only learn Nahw, you have an empty frame. Only Sarf, you have a pile of bricks.
Makes sense.
So by teaching them together right away, students can start making actual simple sentences almost instantly. Things like mubtadas and habar, your basic subject and predicate.
Like, the house is big. That kind of fundamental structure. Exactly that. Moving from just recognizing letters to actually creating meaning, however simple, from day one.
And the source material confirms they apply this immediately. It's not just abstract grammar drills. They use short Qur'anic verses for practice.
Yes, right away. Using tools like flashcards, dictation exercises. It's about connecting the grammar directly to the target text, the Qur'an, immediately. High-intensity immersion from the get-go.
Okay, so that intensity carries into month 2. What's the focus there?
Month 2 builds on that. It's about expanding the grammar nouns, pronouns, basic verb conjugations, specifically past and present tense. And importantly, vocabulary.
Vocabulary. And there's a specific target here, isn't there? Not just random words.
Right. The material mentions a goal of learning 50 to 70 specific high-frequency Qur'anic words in month 2.
That's interesting. So very targeted vocab.
Extremely targeted. It focuses effort on the words that will give the most bang for their buck. Unlock the most meaning in the Qur'an fastest.
And how do they reinforce that? Activities?
Yeah. Active learning stuff.
Yeah.
Maintaining a vocabulary journal, reading short verses specifically to understand the meaning. It's constantly reinforcing that link between the grammar rule and the actual text they want to read.
Okay, that makes sense for the foundation. Months 1 and 2. Now, section 2 takes us deeper. Months 3 and 4. This feels like where things could get really challenging. Month 3 moves to intermediate grammar and comprehension. How do they ramp up the complexity without losing people?
Well, this is where that initial disciplined approach hopefully pays off. Month 3 tackles more advanced now.
Okay.
So complex sentence structures, plurals, duals, how negation works, different particles that tweak meaning. And at the same time, Sarf gets more complex too.
More word building.
Exactly. Advanced verb forms, understanding how the root letters work across different words, deriving nouns and adjectives from a single 3-letter root.
Wow, okay. That sounds dense.
It is dense. If the first 2 months build a basic structure, month 3 is about understanding the engineering principles behind more complex buildings. The goal is always linking this advanced grammar directly to reading and translating the Qur'an.
So the application is still key?
Absolutely. The activities reflect that. Translation exercises, but also what they call mind games, things like unscrambling jumbled sentences or spotting grammatical errors. It forces you to think like a language detective.
I like that, language detectives. Okay, so that's month 3. Then month 4 shifts focus again, more towards application and comprehension.
Precisely. It moves beyond just knowing the rules to really understanding context. A core concept introduced here is the root family.
Root family.
Yeah.
You mentioned roots earlier with Sarf.
Yeah. Arabic is largely based on typically 3-letter roots that carry a core meaning. Month 4 emphasizes understanding vocabulary not as isolated words, but as part of these families.
How does that help?
Well, if you know the root letters and the common patterns, you can often deduce the meaning of related words you haven't even seen before. It's incredibly powerful for vocabulary expansion.
So it's about pattern recognition.
Very much so. Students have to actively find and analyze the grammar within Quranic sentences. Activities include things like making root family charts, mapping out words derived from the same root. It helps internalize those patterns.
That really shifts the learning. It makes you wonder, though, how quickly someone can actually achieve that level of, deductive understanding. This program seems to bet it's possible in just a few months of this kind of focused work.
That's the gamble, isn't it? Intense, structured effort aiming for genuine comprehension quickly.
Okay, let's move to the final stretch. Section 3, speaking, application, final synthesis. Months 5 and 6. Now, month 5 focuses on speaking and role play. This is often the hardest part for language learners, that fear of speaking.
Definitely a common hurdle.
How does this curriculum tackle it, especially in what sounds like a high-pressure environment?
They seem to integrate it carefully. It starts with practical, everyday stuff, basic sentences, greetings, simple conversations, manageable chunks.
Okay.
But then it escalates through role play. Scenarios where you have to, say, describe something that happened, ask specific questions, or even discuss the meaning of a verse you just learned.
So applying the knowledge orally.
Yes. And what really stands out are the more advanced interactive activities mentioned. Things like jam sessions.
Just a minute. Impromptu speaking.
Seems like it, yeah. Impromptu speaking drills. And even structured debate-style discussions based on the material.
Wow, debates in Arabic after only a few months.
Apparently so. These are high-pressure but potentially high-reward activities. They force you to pull together your grammar, your vocabulary, your comprehension, all on the spot, connecting the oral skill directly with everything learned in the first 4 months.
That does sound like a powerful way to synthesize everything. So month 6, the final month, revision and advanced application. Is it just testing or more teaching?
It feels like the capstone, the final integration. It starts with a full review, naturally, covering all the skills.
Reading, writing, speaking.
Listening, yeah. But then it moves into more advanced application. Practical writing tasks like composing short paragraphs in Arabic, not just translating, but creating.
Okay, producing original text.
Right. And intensive recitation practice, but with a crucial addition. You have to explain the meaning and the grammar of what you're reciting.
So demonstrating full understanding.
Exactly. The final assessment isn't just about recall. It tests applied knowledge. Can you actually use the language? Can you analyze a sentence grammatically? Can you explain the meaning? Certification seems to depend on proving that synthesis.
Right. Let's zoom out a bit then. Section 4, key features and takeaways. Thinking about that target learner, someone needing deep knowledge quickly, what are the defining features that make this structure potentially effective?
I think it boils down to rigor and integration. Key features are the interactive classes, yes, but also the explicit focus on balancing all 4 skills: reading, writing, speaking, listening. And critically, everything is tied directly to Quranic understanding.
No skill left behind, essentially.
Pretty much. They don't let you just become a good reader but a poor speaker. Progress has to be across the board.
And there was a specific detail about record books that sounds quite structured.
Yes, that really highlights the rigor. Mandatory record books, separate ones for grammar and for Quranic vocabulary.
Okay.
And the source specifies each book requires 12 distinct, verifiable activities per subject.
12 activities?
Per subject, per book. It's not just about showing up to class. It forces active, measurable work. You have defined tasks to complete, ensuring learning isn't passive. That mandated output is likely a big part of how they justify the rapid pace.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so wrapping that up. 6 months, highly structured, integrated skills, clear goals from alphabet to debate, verifiable activities, certification, and all for about $75. It's quite a package.
It really is a model of high-intensity, function-focused training.
So just to recap the flow we've discussed, it starts super fast with the absolute basics plus core grammar structures, Nahw and Sarf in month 1, then builds complexity through vocabulary, advanced grammar, and understanding root families in months 3 and 4.
Right, the analytical phase.
And finally, it pushes hard on active output speaking, role play, debates, writing in the last 2 months, culminating in that integrated assessment.
Exactly. It's a logical progression from foundational rules to complex analysis to active, flexible use.
If you look at the big picture of how education is designed, What does this tell us?
Well, I think it strongly suggests that achieving functional fluency, even in a complex language, and deep comprehension of specific texts is possible in a short time. But
There's always a but.
the but is the structure. It has to be intense, highly integrated, and relentlessly focused on application through defined, measurable activities. You basically eliminate any room for passive learning.
It certainly challenges the pace of more traditional academic programs. Which leads to our final thought for you, the listener. Given how this program breaks down complex grammar like Nahw and Sarf and pushes for deep comprehension in just 6 months, what other complex fields, think advanced engineering, maybe deep dives into historical periods, specialized coding languages, could potentially be mastered much faster using a similarly intense, tightly sequenced, activity-driven curriculum? Makes you wonder, doesn't it?